Okay, this is reason number 3. Lag Baomer is a time when we should rejoice, time when we should be happy. Torah says in Siman Tov Kaf Ches that any day that Lag Baomer falls out on, so Purim will be on that exact day. We discussed last time the connection between the two, one connection between the two. Now I'm going to suggest another idea over here. The idea behind Lag Baomer is unity. Unity, because Rebbi Akiva's 24,000 students, they all died between Pesach and Shevuos. However, on Lag Baomer, Rebbi Akiva taught a new 5 students. 5 new Talmidim, and they had complete unity, achdus. So that's one of the reasons we explained before why Rebbi Akiva's 24,000 students were unfit to be the people who would transmit the Torah. They couldn't have been the Mosri Torah because they didn't have the unity. In order to receive the Torah, it has to be like we have to be like one. We have to be like one. That's the idea over here. We have to have complete unity over here. That's the idea. We were like one entity, one whole. So since we didn't have unity with these Talmidim of Rebbi Akiva, they didn't give honor to one another. That's the Gemara in Yevamos and Samach Beis. And also, like the Bereshis Rabbah says, Samach Aleph, Einehem Sara Ilu Be'ilu. Jealous of one another, they didn't want to give each other pleasure when it came to Torah, teaching each other. So therefore, they weren't completely wholesome. That's the idea over here. So Rebbi Akiva told these new students that he had, don't be like the original parent, you have to have the unity. Now, if we go through the 49 days of Sfiras Omer, each of the days correspond to one of the ways to acquire the Torah. It's discussed in the 6th parak Avos. There are 48 ways to acquire the Torah. Each day we work on another way to acquire the Torah. On the 49th day, we review all of them. So, if a person goes through the 48 ways to acquire the Torah, he'll find that on the 33rd day, it corresponds to the 33rd way to acquire the Torah, which is Ohev es habriyos, loving other people. So that's what Lag Baomer is about, because Rebbi Akiva, he returned and he taught these new Talmidim over here, and he said that you have to have unity and you have to love one another. That's the explanation, one explanation behind Lag Baomer. Because Lag Baomer is a happy time, because now we have this Masorah, this transferring of the Torah and the tradition that we have to these new Talmidim, the next generation, to new people anymore. Why? It happens because of Ohev es habriyos. So the Areach L'Moadim explains in Maimer Yudches that this is one explanation as to why Lag Baomer is always going to be the same day as Purim. Because Purim, what's the idea behind Purim? Mishloach manos ish l're'ehu. A lot of Purim revolves around achdus, unity. Mishlach manos l'tanat yonim. We give gifts to the poor, money to the poor. We have suda, meal. We invite other people over. There's unity. Mishlach manos. We give items to people. That's unity. Because the Kedusha, holiness, is rooted in achdus. Its shoyrish is achdus, unity. That's holiness. Tumah, something that's impure, unholy, that's rooted in pirud and separation. Haman came along and says, Yishnu am mefuzar mefurud. Haman said that the Jews, they're like separated. But what do we do to fix that? Mishlach manus ish l're'ehu. We send gifts to people. We make unity. To show that what? That we actually have unity among one another. Beautiful idea. So we see that we have to do the opposite. We have to fix this by getting together, aka the Mishlach Manas. A lot of halachas. We discussed this on the past recording, JoyBlan.com, under the halacha section, and then in the Mishnah Berurah section in Siman 695. Tafrei Sadihai. We discussed over there the Chasam Sofer and the Shalos and Shuvas. Siman Kuf Sadivav. He quotes the Manas Alevi. He says that, let's say someone sent us something, and we said we don't want it. Do we fulfill our obligation? Does that person fulfill his obligation on Mishlach Manas or not? So the Chasam Sofer says he'd be good, because according to the Manas Halevi in his commentary to the Megillah on that pasuk Mishlach Manas Ish L'Re'ehu in Tes Yud Tes, says the purpose of Mishlach Manas is to be marbarayas, to increase friendship. So if a person sends a gift to someone, even if the recipient, person who received the gift, denied the gift, rejected the gift, So he still fulfills his obligation. It explains the Chassam Sofer according to the Manos Halevi. Because that's the idea behind Meshlach Manos. Now, according to the Truma Sadeshin, Tangentiline, Shalos, and Shuvas, and Kuf Yada Aleph, he would not fulfill his obligation. But this is according to the Manos Halevi, because the idea is unity. We find that Purim, the Gemara in Shabbos Peiches says the Yisasvi B'tachs Sachar, Kaf Aleim Har Gigas, that Hashem forced us to receive the Torah. So the question is, how did he force us? We already said Nasav and Ishma in the Chav Da'al Zayin. Tosfos says maybe we would go off the path. So therefore, this was extra cautious to keep us there. Medrash Tanchuma Parshas Noach says that we were only forced on the Torah Shabal Peh. Torah Shabachsav, the written Torah, we weren't forced with. That we knew we were going to keep. The oral Torah, that we had to be forced on. Another answer is that one's out of Yira, one's out of Ava. Hashem wanted to make us receive the Torah out of fear, love, both. Anyways, so the Gemara over there says that during the time of Purim, they re-accepted the Torah. Out of will, out of Ava, love, they re-accepted it. So we see over here that there was a certain unity on Purim, or else they wouldn't be able to receive the Torah. It's all about unity. That's Kabbalas Torah, Achdus, that's what it's about. Now we could easily tie it back into Lag Baomer. They're always going to fall out on the same day, Purim and Lag Baomer. Why? Because it's all about Achdus. Like Purim, they accepted the Torah out of will. They wanted to. Because they had Achdus, Leich Knoises Kol Yehudi, to gather all the Jews. So too on Lag Baomer, it's a Kabbalas Torah. We are re-accepting the Torah because now we have that the Torah is able to be transferred from one generation to the next. Why? Because the new Talmidim, those 5 new students Rebbi Akiva had, they had unity with one another. Because he said, be careful not to be like the first pair of students, like the first 24,000 students, rather. It says in the Dharam and Tes Dalet. It's very important to love other people. Love your friends like yourself. Very important rule. And then once these new set of these 5 students came along, and they fixed the pagam, they fixed that blemish because of the unity that they had, so it was fulfilled. Then transferring the Torah was able to get fulfilled for all generations. And on this we have happiness on Lag Baomer, like on Purim. It's the unity. Then he goes into a whole different idea of having good midos as well. It's very important. That's the idea. That's the idea. That's basically the message as to why Lag Baomer. One explanation, another explanation, reason 3 as to why Lag Baomer is a happy time. In short, it's because it's time when we had Achdus, we had unity, and that led to accepting the Torah. It was like a new Torah that we got because it was able to get transferred to the next generation, similar to Purim, which was also like a new Kabbalas Torah because they accepted it.